So thank you all for joining me this afternoon. So this is my first time coming back to Hong Kong after COVID. So it's been years, okay. And when I was assigned this topic, asked by PolyU to talk about AI, okay. So personally, my major, I got my PhD in comparative literature. Then how can I talk about AI in any sense? Okay, so, the first very superficial connection with AI. So CEO of NVIDIA, Jason Huang, is from Taiwan. Okay, so I'm from Taiwan too. And then, what's that? Okay, NVIDIA got its chips from TSMC. Okay, we work with TSMC to train language talents for them, to train engineer to work for them. Okay, so that will be my last page of my slide. Okay, but for me, artificial intelligence doesn't mean necessarily that you use any AI engine to search for data. For me, it's more like processing of big data. Okay, so why is it processing the big data? Yeah, first of all, I'm going to talk about Mandarin Training Center in National Taiwan Normal University. I've been working in that unit for 10 years. So I'm an associate director of that center. So we have a lot of students. And I'll let you know how many students we have every year. So you will figure out why it's big data. And this is a self-funded center. That means we make our own money and without any support from the university. Even better, we contribute a lot of money to the university. So they will count on us to make money, to help the university to do more things on their own, all right? So this is not so much research-based talk, and more often it's more like we have a minister or a director from different universities around the world to come to NTNU and to talk to us about how to make money. All right. All right. So this is more about how to make money and spend less. Okay, with the aid of the help of computers or technology, or what we can say AI. All right, so I'll just get started. My talk is going to be divided into 3 parts: about teacher training, student learning, and administrative management. But before I get started, I would like to how we actually get to spend less and get to do so much. Okay, so with so limited resources. It all happens in the university. Actually, for the management of the big data, we don't count on any external sources, any external resources. We all do it in the center. Okay, so, but that's because we have what I call the NTNU team. Okay, so NTNU is the world-renowned university in terms of its Chinese language education. So I believe that all of you know that if you want to learn Chinese, you got to come to NTNU. Okay, I suppose that's correct, right? You all agree, right? Okay, if you don't agree, you have to agree now. So it's not a promotion, but I believe that we're the best Chinese language learning center in the world. Okay, so first of all, we have Mandarin Training Center in NTNU, and also Department of Chinese as a second language, in which I'm an associate professor. I've been in that department for 15 years. And we have a Chinese Language Technology Center, and also a school for academic preparatory program for overseas Chinese students. Okay, and then test of Chinese as a foreign language. I'll talk about that later. Because these units all are in NTNU or originated from NTNU. Okay, so first the department, we are in terms of the program, we are kind of comprehensive. Okay, so we have a master program, bachelor program, master program, doctor program. And for bachelor program, there's a program for international students and program for local students. And for master program, we have a IB program, online program, and the physical master program. And the online program is the only one master program, what was it? Online program officially recognized by Taiwan Ministry of Education. They have a very strict guidelines and details and requirements about how you can make a program officially certified by Taiwan Ministry of Education. A lot of universities in Taiwan have this kind of online program, but they're not certified, officially certified by the Taiwan Ministry of Education, and this is the only one. Okay, so we work very hard. So that's why we're able to have alumni overseas, and we're connecting with them as well, because we do need a lot of support international, overseas to help our reach out to our international learners. Okay, so and doctoral program, but overall we get our human resources from this department. So while there are students in the department, they were able to do intern in the Learning Training Center, and while we need some. So the brain comes from the department. All right. So this is also a very big department because it has, we have more than 900 students. And 32% of the students are international students. And it's a very comprehensive program for teaching Chinese second language because it covers different fields, special fields, or professional fields like linguistics, second language acquisition, cultural literature, teaching pedagogy. So it's not a program that focuses just merely on pedagogy. And we're also concerned about the contents and also the way learners are learning the language. So we have faculty to cover all the 4 areas, and our students can have more, I would say, rounded training when they have to go to the classroom to face a student who are language learners. So first of all, so that's the department, and the Chinese Language and Technology Center. This is a center that focuses on the composition of Chinese language education and technology. So they basically, over the 15 years, they developed a platform. So in which basically the system that they call Empower. So that's a platform in which the teacher, Chinese language teacher, can upload their materials, and then upload the text or the teaching materials they created, and then the platform help the teacher to, the output includes the production of a vocab, sentence pattern, and test items. There are 7 types of tests that the teacher can develop out of the platform automatically. Okay, and the student, they can do self-learning at home as well, and the teacher also can assign some homework for the student to do through the platform. And in addition to the Empower system, there's some different other different I would say app that's included in this platform. Each one is for this one for pronunciation, reading, and writing. So basically, for reading and writing, it's a student can do the self-test in this platform, and they will know their reading proficiency level and writing proficiency level. And once they know the reading proficiency level, they will list it. So like if you're judged, if it's decided that your reading proficiency level is B1, and there will be a list of reading, recommended reading list for the readers. And at the platform, they also included they also sign contract with some publishing houses in Taiwan. So the student can actually have access to some electronic reading materials. Okay, and for the writing, it's an automatic writing assessment for Chinese. So that's a system they developed. So we're trying to incorporate the system into our center, in the management of the center as well. But I'll skip that part. All right. And let's see. So I want to focus especially on this reading, smart reading. It's about, so when I say student can go to use the app to test their reading proficiency level, and so it's an adaptive test. So they actually developed this kind of system. It's adaptive. All right, so then that's it. I would say when I see this function, I was thrilled because that's exactly what we want. So when they have this kind of product, that's what I want to incorporate into the center. So it's more like there's a research going on in the university, and at the same time, as a center, director of the center, I found this technology and I want to make use of that. Yeah, so it's more the relation between our attitude toward technology. So there's technology there, and we found it, and we want to make use of that. But it's not totally embracing technology. It's more like we're working on more practical side because we want to make sure that it's actually usable, and we're accountable for the use as well. Okay, this is a school wherein they have thousands of students, heritage students, learning Chinese there. So it's also one of the site where we can get resources to. Okay, we have a Chinese proficiency test in Taiwan. So it's like HSK is from China. Then Taiwan has a test of Chinese as a foreign language, what that we call TOEFL test. Okay, so if the student take the exam, they will get a certificate from Taiwan Ministry of Education. Okay, and they have adaptive testing system too. Okay, so, and they also have a fast screening testing available. Usually when you do the test, it takes 1 hour, but it takes too long to do the test. So they have the fast-speed screening for more practical use. Okay, it's not the official test, but it's a fast screening. And actually, we have a Huayu Best program. That's a grant from Ministry of Education in Taiwan. And through the grant, we work with currently 7 universities in the world to help them promote the language education. And so first of all, every university have the same problem of placement test when they have a student enrolled in that program. So it takes time to do the placement test. Also, it's not so reliable. And you need a trained teacher to do that. And so they found that, so when we first was PSU, Penn State University, they found that the fast screening test is very helpful. It helped them, the student can do the test. They don't have to spend a lot of money on that. And the student can do the test in 30 minutes and they get the results immediately. Okay, and so I want to mention this one because, so with the product from TOEFL committee, and we can reach out to universities around the world and help them to promote their language, help them solve the problem they have when in their language classrooms. But from the beginning, actually, TOEFL was originated from MTC, Mandarin Training Center, because we have a lot of students, and we have our own database for the test items, and we know how to do tests. So when Ministry of Education in Taiwan wanted to start this kind of official test, they came to us and we worked together to develop the TOEFL test. But later on, when it's mature enough, so it works on its own independently. But still nowadays, most of the counselor or CEO in that committee are in our universities. So currently, MTC is not only one of the testing centers for TOEFL, we also help them with the pilot tests. So whenever they have the test item that needs, so regularly from the twice a year or 3 times a year, we will have a pilot test for all the students. Yeah, so to do the TOEFL test. So it's beneficial from both sides to have this kind of cooperation. So that's how we work with them. And also, we do the pilot test because we want to know through, like, for each test, we get the result of more than 1,000 students. Then we get to know that, we know that probably our student will get to that level, like A1 level, A2 level, when they finished that book. But we need evidence. We need what we call empirical evidence, if that's true. Because from a very subjective objective, we write the material according to that description of A1 or A2 level. But we really need to make sure that our students are really at that level when they finish learning that book. So that's where we get the results, to align the levels in the center with the level in CFR or in AHKL. Okay, so far so good. We got it right in the beginning, and we don't need to do much adjustment yet. Okay. So now it's the point, okay, MTC. All right, so let's see. Some facts about Mandarin Training Center. So this is organization. All right, so we have 1 director, 2 associate director, 5 divisions. And so professors from different departments being the head of each unit. So basically, it's a small school. We're pretty much on our own. And there's no much connection between the school system and the MTC system. So we have our own independent system that we need to manage on our own. Okay. So we have professor from Department of Chinese Second Language, professor from Department of Technology Application and Human Resources Development, and professor from Department of Mechatronic Engineering, each in charge of his own or her own responsibility to make everything work in MTC. Okay. So staff number around 40, number of teacher 83. For each season, we have around 160 to 200 classes going on, and 2,500 students in summer. Okay. So here are some more facts about MTC. So, yeah. So we were founded in 1956 with only 12 students. So that's always happens for the first year. So whenever we start a new program or a new type of classes in the beginning, in the first try, it's always only very limited number, but it will get better. Everything gets better on and on. Okay, so you see that 2033, we have student number of 9,000 and more than 9,000. And last year, we have an enrollment of more than 10,000 students. So that's a big data I'm talking about. And we have I have 40 colleagues to manage the 10,000 students. That's a big data I talk about. And we need to make it work it out more efficiently. Okay, by technology or by AI. Okay. Let's see. So that's the number of students. And so the gross income in our center is actually quite striking. Okay, that's trade secret. But you can guess from the number of students how much we make every year. You can guess. Okay. And so more than, in addition to learning Chinese or teaching Chinese, because we have so many students in our center, we're also developing language materials on our own. So we have a series of textbooks, okay? And to back up the learning of the textbooks, we also need to provide additional materials for teaching and learning. So here I would just like to show you here, okay. I'll show you 30 seconds only, okay. Oh, it's not there yet. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
请喝茶。
谢谢。很好喝，请问这是什么茶？
这是乌龙茶，台湾人喜欢喝茶。凯文，你们日本人呢？
他不是日本人。
对不起。
So this is a conversation in the textbook. All right. So in a very traditional way, usually we have a tape or a video that's with authentic or real characters playing the roles, and we shoot it. But the kind of sometimes made me sick, seeing real people speaking that language there. Most of them are not professional actors, so they don't look natural when they speak the conversation. So that's why, and the more young people, most of the young people do not like that, the real authentic style or scenario there. So that's why, and also they like metaverse, right? Yeah, the last speech I had this morning, that the current student really enjoyed, like the virtual scenario in metaverse. So that's why we come up with the idea of making that a conversation in the textbook through this kind of format. Okay, it's quite popular for young people, for our learners. Okay, and also during COVID, and we think about, because Chinese grammar points in Chinese always confuse our learners. And so they need a lot of time to review. So that's why we made a short video like this to help them review the grammar and the textbook. No, it's not there yet.
Okay. 有
Possessive.
我有很多照片。我没有书。你有几张照片？我有2张我家人的照片。
Okay, this is the way to help the learner to understand the use of to have in Chinese. And because we encourage students to understand the grammar through Chinese, so we prefer not to have any English or foreign language instruction here. Okay, so do you know how we make this video? Yes? How do we make this video? How many people we have to make this video? So for the grammar points in total, we have 45 videos like this. And for the conversation, we have 2 books, 48 videos like this in 1 year. So how many people do we need to make this video? Yes? 1. Yes, only 1 person, 1 colleague of mine. She worked with 2 teachers, and they get all this done in 1 year. Then how could they do it? How could we do it? Do you know what software we used? It look familiar, right? Right, there are a lot of videos that look similar. So that's a software where they have the stock scenario and stock characters and stock objects. And you've got to combine them together to make a scene and make them move. All right, so the teacher will write the script, and my colleague will try to imagine what the script is like and combine all the objects in that software together and make a movie out of that. All right, so everything is done by one staff in my office in 1 year. All right, so that's what I talk about when we have to reach out to a lot of students and even our partners overseas. And we need to make something that learning material like these, and we have limited resources, and that's how we do it. And so, like 5 years ago, it's this kind of virtual scenario was called the AI, but nowadays not AI. Since I heard this term AI, it's different already. All right, so okay, now go back here. So that's the materials we developed for student learning, and for learning materials, because we have a session that we call R&D. They work on test and material development. So they continue to make to develop language materials for our students. So like next year, we work with the National Museum of Taiwan Literature in Taiwan to publish the language material that's called Taiwan Literature Reader. Okay, so we're also working on developing more supporting or supplementary material for that textbook as well. Okay, more to come, actually. Okay, so let's see. I'll pass this on very quick. So we have different programs and different types of courses. So season program, semester program, short-term program. So we're helping British office, Indian office, AIT, and diplomats training in Taiwan. Okay, they will come to the center to learn Chinese from the beginning to a very, very speak Chinese fluently, and that they can even do an oral interpretation, synchronous oral interpretation. Okay, so we had different short-term programs. So like last year, we have a study abroad program. We work with more than 50 units in the world to have the short-term study abroad program. And the training of the officers in the U.S. Army. Okay, and kids summer camp, etc. So all these students need placement test. So that's why we need to have we also have an online program, which we started in 2013. Okay. So we basically want to have every type of class we offer in physical center to be able to offer those online as well. So we're working on that now. Okay, let's see. So one-on-one course online, group classes online, TOEFL preparation class online, and also teacher training courses online. Okay, so those, and nowadays we also have the hybrid online courses. That's what we just released last year. So the student watch video and then have synchronous online classes with the teacher regularly. Okay, that's the online courses. So all these are, okay, that's it. So first of all, I would like to talk about the AI, okay, how we cope with the age of AI. Okay, so it's actually all started last year. I'm not the first year for AI, right? So it's actually personally, I've attended more than 10 workshops related to AI. So with AI to help you to prepare your class, to write the grant proposal, to prepare for your class. Okay, different kinds of workshop that help a professor and the teacher and the director to utilize, to make use of AI. And it's the same in our center. So basically the attitude of the NTNU, especially from the top, they encourage our use of AI in every aspect of our job. So, so likewise, teachers are eager to know how they can make use of AI. So then we have the different workshops about how they can use AI for language learning, for class preparation. That's directed toward the teacher in our center. Okay, so you can see that here's a picture of their having the AI workshop. Okay, so that's a very good workshop. Okay, so now I would like to talk about AI from the perspective of student learning, services and learning. So basically, for a student to come to a center, first of all, a lot of questions about how to get in, what they can come up with, and what they can get from learning here. A lot of questions. And once they decided to be with us, they will register, and the placement test, they will take courses, they will start learning, and then the final test. And if most of them will continue to learn after 3 months of learning. Okay, so all these, I would say, tasks involve like 1,600 students. All right, so a lot of questions. Like every Monday is the hardest day for my colleagues because in the email account, there will be like 200 emails to answer. All right, so Monday blue is unavoidable. All right, it's hardest day for them in the week. So now we're working on, even though we have the stock message that they can just copy and paste to reply to the question, but still, nowadays, I don't know, they just don't. We even have the frequently asked question page on our website, but nobody looks at that. Nobody goes to that page. They just want to write an email and get the answer from us. Okay, but we cannot tell them you can go directly to find the information in the frequently asked question page. We still have to answer in the email. All right, so that's a big hassle for them. All right, so what can we do with that? You have, of course, a stock answer that we can get, but stock answer comes with more questions because they don't understand the stock answers, or I don't know why. Okay, bad at reading or miscommunication or anything. And nowadays we're working with our IT. We have 3 IT in our center. Okay, so they help us to solve the problem we have in everyday job related. So now we're talking to, so we have a professor from the Department of Technology Application and Human Resources Development. So he is working with our IT to do machine training because we have a lot of stock answer and stock question. And see if we can train the machine, train the computer to be the digital customer service. We don't have a name for that bot yet, okay, but we're working on that. Okay, the registration placement test, I got to be, all right, let me see. How do I? Okay, so I'll skip the payment part. I'll focus on this placement test here. So in the past, basically everything, like 10 years ago, when I first started working at Mandarin Training Center, everything is paper-based. So they have to have the paper, the taste paper on the table, and the student do the taste paper, and the teacher would grade the paper 10 years ago. But we know that it's not green enough. Okay, first of all, it's not green, and secondly, it's not efficient. Okay, because we need students to do the test on the sitting there at our table in the center to do the test, and then we need a teacher to grade the paper. All right, so that's not efficient. And because for every season we have 500 to 600 students, now how can we accommodate 500 to 600 students to sit at the table and do the test? Okay, eventually we have to do it online before they come in. All right, so that's how we developed the system. So before they come here, come to the Plenary Training Center, they do a test online for reading and listening. But still, like 5 years ago, they still have to do the oral test on site. So that's a picture. We have a teacher talking with a student to decide to pinpoint the level. All right, but nowadays, we need to do the machine training again. So for every turn, we have 400 students who recorded their speaking. We assign a topic in the system, and they have to record the voices. And then, right now we at the state in the status of train the teacher first. So we have teacher to read the 400 files together to decide on the level. Then we can come up with so once they decide the level, and they will write some feedback about the criteria they use to decide on the level for reference. Okay, so we're accumulating the data here so that we hope that we can train a third teacher. And then we will come up with the big data, and then we start the machine training. And the final step will be for us to skip that part. The teacher listening to the video, listening to the voice, and decide on the level, then we will have the computer there. All we need to do is upload the file to the computer, and then we have automatic, not grading, it's decide the level of the students in terms of speaking. Then we will have in total, then we have the score of reading, listening, and speaking together. That way we can automatically decide the level of student, which book he should study or she should study. All right, so that way we can kind of reduce the workload of our teachers and reduce the workload of staff. And the student can get the result immediately. And we can also get the result immediately to help them to do the course selection. Okay. Okay, so for course selection, okay, that's what we've been working on too. Once we have the result uploaded to the system, then there will be automatic selection of courses for the student too. All right, and then because for each term, like 1,700 students we have to assign like 1,500 to 1,600 students to the class. That's a lot of work. And we have only 2 colleagues to work on that. All right, so that's what we need to balance about the workload and the resources we have now. And learning, so for every month, the teacher would need to upload a schedule. So we have an official schedule, but we still make sure that the teacher is on the right track. Okay, so that's one thing for them to do. And a monthly grade report for students. But, okay, to ensure the learning quality of the students, and it's not the teacher who decide on the final grade. For at the end of each term, the 3 months term, the student will have to take part in what we call the achievement test. Okay, we want to do it. This achievement test is not delivered by the teacher in the classroom. Okay, so for the achievement test, the student have to. I think for each term we have 26 papers. Okay, it's not physical paper. It's done in the computer labs. And so students of some level would be in the same room to do the test. Okay, so the way we want to do it because we don't want the teacher in the classroom to decide on grades of students, because the student have to continue on to the next level. And it's a more centralized decision about if the student can move on to the next level. So we'll do it in the computer lab, and they will take the test, and the result. It's also once they did the test, they can get the result immediately too. Okay, then we will get the result in our system. And then also, we will know if the student can move on to next level, or they need to go back to the regional level to learn again. Okay. So for this kind of achievement test, we also have the speaking test, because we cover reading, writing, speaking, listening, all the skills, 4 skills in the test. So we also need some technological help to grade the speaking and writing. So we've been working on that, but not a large scale experiment. We start from the small scale first. Okay, so if they continue to learn, then they will come back to the course selection system. All right. Let's see. Yeah, then so for the teachers, for the students, that is for the staff. Okay, as I mentioned in the beginning, NTAU encourage us to embrace AI. So for teachers, for students, and also for directors. So last year, they had 3 sessions of workshop for all the director and associate director in the university to participate in this session to introduce AI. Okay, so some director may have known what AI is, but some may not. So that's why they have this one. After this workshop, they ask every director, so what are you gonna make use of? How are you gonna make use of the AI in your unit? Okay, we need to come up with some answer. All right, so, but actually we already use that. But I won't call it AI or generative AI, because we don't use generative AI to help us manage the big data. It's more like, because this is most of the information we have is, or data we have is confidential. So we cannot upload that information to generative AI. And we preferred, we have to design or make our own AI to upload our data and to do the automatic assessment or automatic management of information. So we do it all on our own and not depending on generative AI. Okay. So for the staff, all right, so introduction to generative AI for directors and all the colleagues in my center, we provide the accounts for them to encourage them to use AI to help them solve the problem they might have. Because whenever they have a short-term program, they might have 100 students and their data, and need to count how many boxes, lunch boxes they have to buy, okay? And because there are different dietary preferences, and it's hard to count. And when we hire part-time worker to count the number of lunch boxes, sometimes the result is not accurate, and then that will cause troubles. So we kind of experimented with AI and see if AI can come up with an accurate answer, and it works. All right, so that's one tiny bits of experiments with AI for the staff. So that's why we encourage them to use that. Whenever there's a problem, it takes time. If they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's how many lunch boxes we need to order for the student to come. and sometimes not correct because we're human. Okay, we blame sometimes. Okay, so that's when we will encourage them to use AI. So that's one example. And so that we encourage them to use AI for their job-related documents. That's when we have the professor of technology education come in. He collected all the documents our colleagues need to produce and take a look at them. And then he will show the colleagues how you can produce a documents with the help of AI. So that's the three aspects of what happened in our center to integrate or to utilize AI in terms of management, et cetera, et cetera. So I've talked about the material developments actually. So listening video and grammar points that we use AI to produce the supporting materials. And lastly, one thing that's related to AI, okay. So that's the material I talked about. But I want you to focus on the red, the background there. So we're developing, like I said, very superficially. We have relation with AI because of NVIDIA, because of TSMC. And now we're helping TSMC to train international human resources in Japan, in Germany, in USA. And they need Chinese for semiconductor industry. So that's what we're working on now. And we're developing that materials for them. And they're starting to learn that this August. Okay, that's my talk. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Professor Chu, for very fruitful sharing. And yeah, we may all interested about how can you attract 10,000 students a year. But not much time, but we may allow one or two questions from the audience. Yes. We'll wait for the microphone. Yeah.
Thanks for your wonderful keynote. And actually, I'm a language specialist in English language education, not Chinese. But I really appreciate all your shared about the system, the AI, and the resources management. So my question would be, how do we sustain embodiment throughout the process? Because you mentioned that a lot of the staff mentorship and a lot of the test achievements were done by AI and then directing the student to their own behavioral adjustment. So to me, it's not very embodied learning model. So how would you enrich the embodiment with the AI, including the staffing, the interaction, and the dialogic approach of learning through this model? Yeah, that's my questions in my way and observing all the changes, and really great changes, actually. Thank you.
How do we sustain the efforts to use AI, or how do we encourage our
Embodied learning to enrich the embodiment and the interaction despite using all this system?
we keep talking, conversation going on. So like, because we always encounter problems when they're doing their jobs, and we have needs. Okay, so the needs come first, and then we talk to our IT. So we have a very frequent conversation about what we need. So we learn from IT learn from us. Actually, the kind of system is not built. So that's why I said that we need to construct our own system. We cannot rely on external sources, because like 15 years ago, we tried to build a system. We try to outsource in the system, okay, but it's a failure because nobody can really understand our needs. It's very specific needs in terms of the administrative and in terms of learnings. So being a professor in the Department of Chinese Second Language, being a director in Mandarin Training Center, and we keep talking to my staff. Basically, I sit there every day. So I talk to my IT, I talk to my staff, and talk to the teachers about the needs. Okay, then with the needs, we look for technology available out there and talk to our IT, or we go to our IT directly to talk about our needs and if we can really make it happen. But we are very practical and we're very realistic. So we talk about the needs, very specific needs in details about how it works. So I learned the terminological term. The last conversation I had with my IT is like, you can talk about, oh, we need an API to have this all get together. Then I ask, what is API? Okay, so I need the term to learn from them. Okay, then we can continue the conversation. So it's a continual learning. So that I personally I grow in terms of in every aspect as well when I work there. So I believe that this environment, because there's something good being in the academic environment, people are willing to learn and willing to grow together. And yeah, already we're making money, but because we are in the university, we don't have to triple in 1 year or triple in 3 years. So we can make our own pace. And as long as we make money, all right. So we have our own pace, and we keep talking. So what I'm talking about doesn't happen overnight. Okay, it takes 10 years when I worked there to make everything happen. Yeah. I believe that with the help of AI or technology, we can do better, but it takes time for us to really absorb and digest what we can make use of technology to help us to learn, to manage, and to teach. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe because of the time limit, let's thank you,
Thank you
Professor
all.
Chu. And last but not least, let me invite our Assistant Dean, Mr. Adam Forrester, to present a souvenir to Professor Chu.